the last son of Odetola. The village of Okero was a place where time seemed to stand still. Nestled in the heart of Nigeria, surrounded by dense forest and rolling hills, it was a community bound by tradition and simplicity. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, their days filled with the rhythms of farming, trading, and storytelling. But beneath the surface of this idyllic life lay a world of secrets, mysteries, and ancient rivalries that few dared to speak of. Adesewa was a young woman who embodied the spirit of Okero. With her radiant smile and compassionate heart, she was beloved by all who knew her. She spent her days helping her mother in the market, tending to the sick, and gathering herbs from the forest. It was during one of these herb-gathering excursions that her life took a dramatic turn. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Adesewa heard a low growl. She turned to see a lion emerge from the underbrush, its golden eyes gleaming with hunger. Fear rooted her to the spot as the beast lunged toward her, its powerful muscles called for the kill. Just as the lion's claws were about to strike, a figure leaped from the trees, landing between Adesewa and the beast. The man, tall and cloaked in a dark shawl, moved with a grace and strength that seemed almost otherworldly. He fought the lion with a ferocity that left Adesewa breathless, his movements precise and deliberate. After a fierce struggle, the lion let out a final roar and retreated into the forest. Adesewa, trembling and covered in dirt, turned to thank her savior, but he was already gone, disappearing into the shadows as quickly as he had appeared. The encounter with the lion left Adesewa shaken but also deeply curious. Who was the man who had saved her life? Why had he vanished so quickly? She asked around the village, but no one seemed to know anything about him. Some whispered that he was a spirit of the forest, while others dismissed him as a mere traveler passing through. Determined to find answers, Adesewa decided to venture back into the forest, following the faint trail of blood left by the lion. Her search led her to a hidden clearing deep in the woods. There, she found the mysterious man kneeling beside a small stream, washing the blood from his hands. He looked up as she approached, his piercing eyes locking onto hers. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then, in a voice as deep and steady as the forest itself, he introduced himself as Akin. He explained that he was a traveler, a man with no home or family, who had been wandering the land for years. But Adesewa sensed there was more to his story. His eyes held a sadness that spoke of a past filled with pain and loss. That night, as they sat by a small fire, Akin began to open up. He told Adesewa of a rival clan that had destroyed his family and left him with nothing but a burning desire for revenge. His words were heavy with emotion, and Adesewa could see the weight of his grief in the lines of his face. She listened in silence, her heart torn between gratitude for the man who had saved her life and fear of the darkness that consumed him. The rival clan. As the days turned into weeks, Adesewa found herself drawn deeper into Akin's world. She learned that he was not just a wanderer but the last surviving son of a once powerful clan. His family had been betrayed and slaughtered by a rival clan, their name erased from history. Akin had dedicated his life to seeking vengeance, and his presence in Okero was no coincidence. The rival clan's leader was rumored to be hiding in the village, and Akin was determined to find him. Adesewa, torn between her growing affection for Akin and her fear of the violence that followed him, tried to convince him to let go of his quest for revenge. She spoke of forgiveness and the possibility of a new beginning, but Akin's heart was hardened by years of pain. "You don't understand," he said, his voice tinged with bitterness. "They took everything from me. My family, my home, my future. I cannot rest until justice is served." One night, as the village slept, Akin disappeared, leaving behind only a note warning Adesewa to stay away from him. But she knew she couldn't. She had seen the man beneath the anger, the one who had risked his life to save hers, and she was determined to save him from himself. The hidden cave. Adesewa's search for Akin led her to the heart of the forest, where she discovered a hidden cave filled with ancient artifacts and symbols of his clan. It was there that she found him, kneeling before a makeshift altar, his hands stained with blood. He had finally confronted the rival clan's leader and exacted his revenge, but the victory felt hollow. The man he had killed was old and frail, a shadow of the tyrant who had destroyed his family. Akin's face was a mask of anguish as he realized that his quest for vengeance had brought him no peace. Adesewa approached him slowly, her voice soft but firm. "Akin," she said, "your family would not have wanted this for you. They would not have wanted you to live a life consumed by hatred." Her words struck a chord deep within him, and for the first time in years, Akin allowed himself to grieve. He wept for his parents, his siblings, and the life he had lost. Adesewa held him as he cried, her own tears mingling with his. Together, they left the cave and returned to the village. Akin, his heart heavy but no longer burdened by the weight of vengeance, vowed to start anew. He began to rebuild his life, one step at a time, with Adesewa by his side. Though the scars of his past would never fully heal, he found solace in her love and the promise of a future free from the shadows of hatred. The villagers, who had once viewed Akin with suspicion, began to accept him as one of their own. He used his strength and skills to protect the village, becoming a guardian of Okero. Adesewa, meanwhile, continued to tend to the sick and care for those in need, her kindness and compassion inspiring all who knew her. As the years passed, Akin and Adesewa built a life together, their love a testament to the power of forgiveness and redemption. The forest, once a place of danger and mystery, became a symbol of their journey, a place where darkness had been overcome by light, and where two lost souls had found their way home. The legacy of Okero. The story of Akin and Adesewa became a legend in Okero, passed down from generation to generation. It was a tale of courage, love, and the enduring power of the human spirit. The village, once a quiet and unremarkable place, became known as a sanctuary for those seeking redemption and a new beginning. Akin and Adesewa's descendants carried on their legacy, living lives of compassion and service. The hidden cave, now a sacred site, served as a reminder of the past and the importance of choosing love over hatred. And though the world outside Okero continued to change, the village remained a beacon of hope, a place where the lessons of the past were never forgotten. In the end, the story of Akin and Adesewa was not just about revenge or love, it was about the choices we make and the legacy we leave behind. It was a story that reminded everyone who heard it that even in the darkest of times, there is always a path to light. Thanks for watching. Please, share and like this video. Kindly subscribe to my channel for more African stories.